Welcome to Trekzone Plays. Matt Miller with you at Trekzone HQ. Well, this is the 5th episode in my playthrough of Star Trek, the 25th anniversary game. This is brilliant. From 1992 and into play, they were there throughout my childhood in the 90s. This one is Feathered Serpent. This is Trekzone Plays, Star Trek, the 25th anniversary game.
Retro games with no commentary. This is Trekzone Plays.
Feathered Serpent.
Captain's log, stardate 5097.3. Starfleet reports major military activity in the Klingon sector near Krakoor, a planet on the edge of Klingon space. Intelligence indicates that the Klingons are mobilizing a large fleet to search for a renegade who is responsible for a disruption of unknown nature on that planet. Federation sensors have found a faint energy trail leading to the planet Zam-4 in the Digifal system. We have been ordered by Starfleet to track down the source of the energy and discovered what happened on Krakoor before the Klingon fleet enters Federation space. If we are not successful, the Federation and the Klingon Empire may find themselves at war once again.
Krakoor 4, a world in Klingon space, which has belonged to the Empire for at least 4 generations, governed by the Kenka family. The population of Krakoor is not known. Klingons, a humanoid life form that has used genetic manipulation to stratify their population. Their homeworld is Kling. Klingons' culture is based on the principle of survival of the fittest, either through guile or physical force. Principles of honor are used to prevent the culture from killing itself completely, but these principles are extended outside their species only to non-Klingons who have proved themselves in battle. Negotiations over planets in the disputed area have been slowly advancing, hindered by recent Klingon technological exchanges with the Romulans. The Klingon Empire itself is economically backward and poorly organized, but their military force is extremely formidable. Zam-4, the 3rd planet in the Digifal system, a Class M world. See Digifal. Digifal, a system near the Klingon neutral zone. Digifal contains 2 habitable planets, Digifal 3 and Digifal 4. Digifal 3, also known as Zem-4, contains ruins of a civilization that abandoned the planet approximately 20,000 years ago and has been declared a protected world for archaeological reasons. Kenka, Vlicht, a member of the Kenka family, an old Klingonese family of noble origins, the governing family of Krakoor. Vlicht is the first Kenka to reach flag rank, and as such, has been posted back away from the frontier. Vlicht has 2 sons in the service, but nothing is known of his wife or other children. He is believed to be the current commander of the Klurta, and one of the most respected commanders in the Klingon fleet. He is said to be an avid fencer.
Captain, a Klingon battle cruiser has entered the system.
Open hailing frequencies. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Klingon battle cruiser, you are in Federation space. You must leave immediately.
I am Commander Taras of the Nizra. We are in pursuit of a genocidal criminal. We are performing an act of mercy in removing him from your space. Naturally, you will remove your vessel from this system, for your own safety, of course.
I think we can take care of ourselves, Taras, which is more than I could say for you, if the Nizra does not leave Federation space at once. You are in direct violation of the Organian Treaty, mister. If you have a problem, have your fleet commander take it up with them. If a Federation criminal were to pass into Klingon space, you'd be saying the same thing to me. Who do you think you're trying to fool, Taras? Get your ship out of here now. I think we can take care of ourselves. You are in direct violation of the Organian...
If we are not allowed to capture this criminal, Captain, you may do this for us. We insist that we remain here to monitor the situation, but we will take no action, provided that you can bring him to us in 12 hours.
Agreed. Vessels of war are not allowed in Federation space. You will pull back to the Organian neutral zone, and do so immediately. Agreed.
Entering standard orbit.
Assemble a landing party. Unless we find this so-called criminal, we're going to war.
The moon of Digifal. Legend says that the gods of good and evil fortune live there and will glance back at those who look at them, and either a miracle or a catastrophe will soon befall those who gaze upon it. Luminescent insects swarm near a large tree. It looks like the jungle has grown up into a small hut. There is a tall, slender, dark-haired man looking intently at you.
There's nothing there requiring a ship's doctor. There's nothing there requiring a ship's doctor. There's nothing there requiring... He appears human. All life signs are normal, but I'm getting strange energy readings near the base of the pituitary gland.
Greetings, my children. I can barely imagine that you have come so far.
I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Did you know the Klingons are looking for you? I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. What did you do to get the Klingons so upset? We're not your children, and we don't appreciate this wild goose chase you forced us into. I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the...
Quaint expression. I have done nothing to anger them. I did with them what I have done with everyone.
And exactly what would you have done with them? Entering Klingon space for anything puts the peace in peril. Whatever you did has them very upset. They're raiding worlds looking for you. And exactly what would you have done with them?
Jeopardize the peace? Hardly. Peace is what I preach. I am Quetzalcoatl, as you well know from the proud history of your world.
Quetzalcoatl? How fitting you would name yourself after one of the most bloody-handed gods in Earth's history.
Bloody-handed? My people love peace.
Your followers regularly sacrificed other believers to you after you left, offering you their still-beating hearts. Ha! You mean your followers loved pieces? They slaughtered other believers hoping you'd return. Your followers regularly sacrificed...
Impossible. You must be lying.
And then your followers were destroyed, because when white men arrived on that continent, they were believed to be you in your promised return. Your people perverted your teachings, then were destroyed by it.
Foul, lying creatures! My gift was wasted upon you! Be gone! Clearly are not the inheritors of the noble Aztec world. What you have said has greatly disturbed me. You should not lie so. You shall remain here until you have learned the error of angering Quetzalcoatl.
It looks like a Xanthorian pit snake, a rather common species in this region, noted by galactic herpetologists for their quickness. It is not venomous or dangerous to humans.
You pick up some rocks from the pile. Lieutenant Strachey is carefully examining the pit. Spock is carefully examining the pit. You are in a deep pit. It is a long, hard climb to the top. You are in a deep pit. This particular snake doesn't seem to like your company and moves whenever you get near it. There are rocks here quite suitable for picking up and throwing. There is a light suspended from above by a chain. There are several loose vines hanging over the side of the pit out of reach. This is one of them. There is a vine hanging down into the pit. Feral red eyes glare out of the dark at you. The vine will not support you.
Fascinating. It did appear to knock the vine down near to the point where one of us can reach it.
Didn't they have baseball on Vulcan? Show us your fastball, Jim.
Baseball? No one plays that anymore. Good try, though, sir.
The probability of getting the vine on the second try was only 36.53%. Well done, Captain.
Probability? That was a perfect pitch if I ever saw one.
All right, we're on our way.
Trees to the left of you, trees to the right of you. Into the valley of trees race the landing party. You look but see nothing of note.
I am Tolokzak, priest of Quetzalcoatl. Only one who knows his ways may approach his holy ground.
Towering over your security officer, holding a great spear in his huge hand, the great warrior Tolokzak will let no one pass him. Primitive lights illuminate this savage scene.
Indeed, you know the ways of Quetzalcoatl, but only a man of courage, one who will shed blood, will pass. Self-sacrifice is the noblest quality of humanity. You may go. Beware the monster in the water. You may have my knife to defend yourself.
You pick up the beautifully crafted knife. Familiar glowing spheres light the path. Below this rock is a large growth of mushrooms. You fail to obtain anything.
Nothing to report, Captain. The tricorder registers a life form, a large marine creature lurking just below the surface of the water. It appears that the leaves are slightly toxic. I would not recommend touching it for an extended amount of time, Captain. The tricorder registers a life form, a large marine creature lurking just below the surface of the water. It is some kind of mollusk. The river seems to be its home, and it is carnivorous, eating land and river-based forms of life.
There's nothing there requiring a ship's doctor. Jim, there's some kind of an aquatic creature down there. It's some kind of squid, and it doesn't look very friendly.
It would appear that the plant secretes a chemical that is a natural repellent to the creature. It has retreated far downstream, Captain.
It is a large cluster of crystals.
This appears to be a formation of raw dilithium crystals, Captain.
You have one dilithium crystal in raw form. Darkness leading into the unknown. Darkness leading into the unknown. This is the way that you entered the cave. If you leave this way, the tentacled creature that attacked you will probably try to get a second course for its dinner.
Watched as you worked through the problems I set in your path. You are a valiant, intelligent species. Please sit down. We have much to discuss.
I've had it up to here with so-called superior beings terrorizing my crew because we're so primitive. Maybe you should see how primitive you are before you go around testing others. One thing first, if you're so peaceful, how come the Aztecs were so violent and aggressive? Yes, I guess we do. Go on. One thing first, if you're so peaceful, how come...
I tried to teach them the concept of self-sacrifice. It would appear they did not completely understand my teachings. You are clearly not the liars I thought you to be. Were you telling me the truth about my disciples? That they became ruthless savages?
The Federation is not in the business of lying, mister. Absolutely. Your best intentions were changed by the imperfect humans that you left in charge after you departed. Such is the way of our race, I'm afraid. You messed up in a big way. Perhaps you should try following the Prime Directive. It changed our lives. The Federation... Absolutely.
I sense truth in this. Perhaps this is what happened to my children on the Klingon world of Rakur, which would explain why they are searching for me. I have clearly abused the power that was given me long ago.
You show great wisdom, sir, but your statement implies that you wish to change your condition.
Indeed. If my mission of peace was overthrown, then I am no longer worthy of my power. Tell me, has your species made progress in the medical arts?
We're a technologically advanced starfaring race. What do you think? That we wouldn't have made progress in medicine? With Dr. McCoy, I sometimes wonder, but yes, I would say we have made considerable advances. Yes, why do you ask? We're a yes, why do you ask?
At the top of my spine is a gland not found in your species. This is the seat of my power. I wish you to remove it, thereby making me immortal.
Jim, I'll try, but the physiology is completely alien.
You've got to do it, Bones. If the Klingons realize he's no longer a threat to them, perhaps we can avoid a war. Scotty, 5 to beam up.
Captain, 3 Klingon heavy battle cruisers have just entered the system. Admiral Kenka is hailing us, sir.
Federation Starship, this is Admiral Kinka of the Clearta. You harbor a criminal who has caused the destruction of the entire population of Hrakor. We are not prepared to negotiate. You will proceed to Hrakor, where a court of Klingon justice will be convened. If you refuse, we shall destroy you.
Admiral Vlicht, the criminal of whom you speak is in the middle of a very delicate medical procedure. He cannot be handed over to anyone at this time. I cannot believe Quetzalcoatl's mission to Hrakor would cause the deaths of the entire planet. Since when do Klingons give orders to Federation officers, Admiral? I realize it's difficult for a Klingon, but don't be a fool. Admiral Vlicht, I cannot believe Quetzalcoatl's mission to Hrakor would cause the deaths of the entire planet.
His attempt to corrupt the Empire with his philosophy led to the destruction of all life on Hrakor.
How could a philosophy of peace and non-violence cause the destruction of all life on Hrakor?
Hrakor has been governed by my family for generations, but even they were corrupted by him. It was a matter of honor that his lies had to be silenced, no matter what the cost.
My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with? So you killed them, your own family. You were responsible for their deaths, not Quetzalcoatl. You murdered them. You're insane. Tell me, how much do your commanders know about what you did? Or do you need to kill Quetzalcoatl to hide your own deeds? My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with?
It was that creature's fault. Had he not interfered in our affairs, the people of Hrakor would be alive. Clearly, he is responsible.
Message from Starfleet Command.
I'll argue this with you later, Vlicht.
Contact your superiors, Kirk. You may be surprised.
I have bad news, Captain. The Organians have ruled that Quetzalcoatl's interference in Klingon affairs renders him subject to Klingon law. You are to turn your prisoner over to them at Hrakor. Klingon law will permit you to observe or aid in his defense. But be very careful, Jim. Starfleet out.
Captain, you cannot turn him over to those butchers. That would be murder.
We have no choice, Scotty. I'm afraid Quetzalcoatl has a date with Klingon justice. Set course for Hrakor, Mr. Chekhov. Captain's log. We have come to the ruined Klingon planet of Hrakor to deliver our guest, the mythical entity Quetzalcoatl, to a Klingon court. Dr. McCoy, Mr. Spock, and Ensign Benny and I have been granted permission by the Organians to witness this trial, which I expect to be a travesty of any meaningful definition of justice. Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the comm.
The prisoner and his witnesses will stand forth, so the trial may begin.
Admiral Vlicht, commander of the Klingon flagship Clerta. A Klingon guard. A big Klingon guard. A big Klingon guard with his disruptor ready to fire on anyone who gives him trouble. This is the famous seal of the Klingon Empire. This bench is marked with the symbol of the Klingon Court of High Justice. The two triangles of words and blood link together.
So, Kirk, we finally meet. I had thought it would be in battle, but the universe holds many surprises.
There's nothing less appealing than a gloating Klingon, Vlicht. Let's get this trial underway. Stick around, Vlicht. There are more surprises awaiting you. Why does every Klingon tell me they expected to meet me in battle? You really have a one-track mind. There's nothing... Stick around, Vlicht.
So be it! This begins the trial of the entity Quetzalcoatl, who is charged with impersonating a Klingon, stirring dissent, encouraging cowardice, and treason in the highest degree.
Those are serious charges, Vlicht. Should he not be tried by a Klingon High Court?
He has not demonstrated honor, Kirk. Only a proven warrior may be tried in High Court. Principles of honor are not applicable to his defense.
I'm a warrior, Vlicht. I hereby intervene for him and demand the honors and responsibilities of a warrior's trial. And this trial is a mockery for the entire galaxy to see. Oh, well, I'm afraid you're on your own, Quetzalcoatl. I'm a warrior, Vlicht. I hereby intervene...
A Federation officer claiming the rights of a Klingon warrior. How dare you insult me, Kirk?
I've faced Klingons both in personal and ship-to-ship combat. Your own records will confirm this. If I'm not worthy of their honors, why didn't they kill me?
That oversight, Kirk, is easily rectified. You and your 3 companions may face the test that we set for the Defender. Then we shall see if you are as worthy as a Klingon.
I want your word of honor, Vlicht, that Quetzalcoatl will not be harmed while we take these tests.
Very well. You have my word. Captain Calarax, transport them to the test of life.
What is this place?
Not much is known about Rakur, Ensign. This would appear to be some sort of a mining installation. That creature might be a native life form.
A test of courage? That is the Klingon way.
I somehow doubt that Vlicht intends for us to survive this, whatever the outcome. We're the only thing that stands between him and the killing of Quetzalcoatl that he can justify.
Why should he worry about justification, Captain? He's a Klingon. Murder is as natural to them as breathing.
That's not true, Ensign. However, I suspect that Vlicht's attack on Rakur exceeded his orders. He needs Quetzalcoatl as a scapegoat, and he needs a fair trial to avoid an inquiry of his own actions.
And our deaths will be the only way he can get it. Great!
There's nothing there requiring a ship's doctor. It does not register as a known life form.
This creature is composed of electrical fields. I would not recommend approaching it. A metal projectile might disrupt its fields and render it harmless. These wooden rods are support beams that were not placed. This rock has a high iron content. This rock has a high iron content.
You melt some of the rock. You coat the rod with molten iron. It hardens quickly.
As I suspected, Captain, the creature is in stasis. It should awaken in 3.48 days.
I bet it'll be mad.
An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. The tricorder is unable to determine the code, but can scan the mechanism. Captain, I have calculated the odds of surviving this at...
Shut up, Spock.
You've handled those Klingons well, sir. We've got them on the run now.
How could you do it, Jim? I spent hours trying to save his life, and you just gave him away in seconds to the Klingons.
Why do I have the feeling that I am about to have a bad day?
You look but see nothing of note. A slightly antiquated Klingon lock mechanism.
Captain, there is a force field between us and the planet. We have your position at approximately 30 meters beneath the surface of Hakor, in what appears to be the ruins of an archaeological dig. Keep us informed. We'll help you all we can. We can analyze any data you gather through the main computer.
Uhura, prepare to receive a tricorder message. There is a door with an entry coder here. Try to analyze the circuits and let the main computer crack the code.
Scan complete. Main computer has the code. We also read an anomaly. Something else has tapped into the key code. Shall I analyze?
I want that door open. Affirmative, Uhura.
Sir, we have a secondary code that is nested in the Klingon program. Computer is unable to analyze its function. Shall we broadcast it to you when you activate the keypad?
Affirmative. Negative. Transmit the door entry code only. Affirmative.
Good luck, Captain.
What is this place?
This is not Klingon technology, Captain.
Even I can see that, you pointy-eared freak.
Gentlemen, I suggest we start trying to find out what this is. I have a feeling we've come someplace Flick wasn't expecting us to go.
Captain, it seems to be some sort of interface device, but I do not know how to activate it.
This large gem appears to be a sapphire of unusual size. This is obviously artificial.
Nothing to report, Captain.
That combination is restricted to higher order functions. Neural interlink required. Not prime for neural interlink. To use any light, the first crystal must correspond to the color of the light.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Force field blocks trans-system transport.
Transport aborted. Use defense systems to eliminate alien vessels. Not prime for neural interlink. Not prime for neural interlink. Breach of protocol. Alien invasion imminent. Internal security activated. Not prime for neural interlink. This is Bialbi, High Mentalic of Rakor. For defense, use the light of war. For information, use my light. For transportation, use the light of travel. Sequences are keyed by combinations of crystals. Integrator now active. This is Bialbi, the most advanced life form on this world. Thank you for informing us of the situation. It shall be resolved. Admiral Vlicht, this is the defensive system of Rakor. You have engaged in genocidal activities on this world. Have you anything to say before your sentence is passed?
Kirk! This is your doing!
No, Admiral, it is not. But that will suffice as a final public statement. The sentence is banishment to you and all members of your crew who are involved in this action.
You have no right to try me!
I have as much right as you to conduct trials on this planet. You showed no justice to your victim. The penalty for injustice is death.
Kirk!
Hoist on your own petard, eh, Vlicht? Do you want me to help you? You tried to send me to my death. Now you can rot as you get what you deserve. If I have your word that Quetzalcoatl goes free, I'm willing to intervene to save you.
Agreed.
A life for a life is a just bargain, but his crimes are beyond count.
I do not see what can be served by more killing.
Idealism, an advanced concept. Naive, perhaps, but charming in its simplicity. Admiral Vlicht, the entity Quetzalcoatl shall be set free. If you ever return to this sector, the sentence shall be carried out. No Klingon vessel may ever return to this world.
Very well. I agree to your terms.
As for you, Captain, you may return. I find your social development most pleasing.
I fear that politics will make it impossible. Your planet is in Klingon space, but I don't understand why the Klingons never detected you.
Their archaeological digs did come close, Captain, but I am very elusive. I waited and monitored the situation and chose to reveal myself to you. Now you may go. Heed my warning, Vlicht. I shall not be merciful a second time.
Klingon ship leaving the area.
We will be setting course for Digifal. It's the closest thing to a home that Quetzalcoatl has.
It would appear everything worked out for the best.
Except for the people of Rakor, Mr. Spock. Except for the dead.
We have read your report on the problems at Rakor and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.